Nah, man.
Let's hop in this first topic, man. What R. Kelly talking about? I haven't even been keeping up with any of the R. Kelly. I've been seeing it online. So Flacco, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one for sure.
Man, so R. Kelly attorneys did a press conference yesterday because they just filed a 20-page motion trying to get him emergency release because he claims that 2 inmates came forward and claimed that the prison officials have tried to hire them to kill R. Kelly. Now, one inmate is saying that right. Now, one inmate was Mikhail Glenn Stein. Now, they're both like white supremacists, by the way.
That allegedly tried to kill R. Kelly?
Yeah, and both are part of the Aryan like brotherhood. So the one inmate said that he was being offered in exchange for killing R. Kelly, they would help him escape prison. Like apparently one of like the correctional officers said that. So let's just hear what the accusation is. But I did like a full deep dive where, bro, I looked at like mad cases all night. And when I tell you like the rabbit hole with this R. Kelly shit is deep.
Attorneys are asking President Donald Trump to release their client immediately, saying prison officials have hired an inmate to murder him. Kelly is serving a 30-year sentence for sexual misconduct at a federal prison in North Carolina. Today, Kelly's legal team filed an emergency motion in Chicago federal court to get him out. They say they have a sworn affidavit from a terminally ill inmate who says prison officials offered him freedom in his final days in exchange for Kelly's murder.
There have been discussions not only with Michael Stein, but as the motion indicates, we've recently received information from another inmate named Mr. Harris. And Mr. Harris has indicated that he too has been approached by the same lieutenant who's been approaching Michael Stein, and that discussions have been had about poison in the food hall, about poison in the commissary. Discussions with Mr. Stein have been had about stabbings. These are the kinds of methods that have been discussed.
Well, Kelly's attorney also says 2 inmates were approached by high-ranking prison officials to carry out the murder. Kelly was convicted in 2022.
Okay, do y'all feel like R. Kelly is telling the truth?
That nigga bullshit.
That sounds pretty far-fetched.
That shit, come on, though. That shit.
All right. Now, okay, look, though, there's more information, but I'm going to let you give, like, your takes first, and then I'm going to let you guys know the additional information, and then you tell me if, like, your mind has changed. So off the first...
We playing games with the news.
No, why can't you just tell me, dog?
No, right? Because the second part... Okay, so based off of this, just him claiming, that these 2 dudes is coming for it, and they're telling me this, do you believe that he's telling the truth, and 2, that's enough to have him released?
Hell no.
Okay.
Isn't there a word for that when someone is like, you admitted a crime to someone else and then they snitched on you and then they're telling on you and you can't get in trouble for that?
Wait, but like, okay, no, but the dude said that they turned it down. So that the officers try to get them to crash out to kill R. Kelly.
Okay.
And instead of killing R. Kelly, they just told R. Kelly. So, I guess that's not really...
I don't know. This seems fishy.
Right?
But like how smoked out that sounds, though. Just like 2 inmates, like, hey, forget they told me to kill you and they'll help me escape. It's kind of crazy just to say like that for everybody, you know?
Yeah, true. Okay, so, but here's why, to me, I think they're telling the truth, right? They're absolutely correct. And I even did like a deep dive into the Mikhail Glenn Stein and his cases.
Why do they want R. Kelly dead, though?
Okay, perfect. So
Hold
thanks for
asking. Let me.
Yeah.
I personally haven't looked at any of this, but I think he's seen what Tory Lanez got going on, and he's trying to get all that sympathy that Tory Lanez is getting, and he's trying to take that approach so he can get out of jail. That's what I'm just seeing from this shit. Since all of a sudden, since when R. Kelly got niggas trying to kill him in jail now too? He was in jail way longer than Tory Lanez.
Well, that's been buzzing for like 3 years already? 4 years?
Shit, about 4 or 5 now. It seems like from what I take from this, without hearing the extra information Flacco about to put on us, seems like he's trying to go with the Tory Lanez approach and try to get some sympathy and shit.
Okay, so we can all agree that R. Kelly is a pedophile, right?
That's been proven, right?
Yeah. Well, he got
him up,
and he got found guilty not of being in possession of CP in one case, so he's a pedo. Right.
Okay.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. So we're not. Yeah. So we can all acknowledge he's a garbage human being, and I think he should rot in hell. However, when you look at, because there's two cases now.
However.
There's two cases now. There's the CP case. I think that's on like a state level.
Oh my God.
And then there's the federal RICO. And I think R. Kelly is guilty. I think he's a garbage human being, and I don't think that he should be free. However, when you look at the Fed case, which is what he's currently serving like 35 years for, when you look at the Fed case, R. Kelly, if the justice system operated how it was supposed to operate, he shouldn't have been found like guilty, and it should have been like thrown out, right? So when R. Kelly was first arrested, the government knew they didn't have enough. Meaning, bro, like the bunch of the stuff they had was from like the 90s, Aaliyah, 09.
Yeah.
And they needed his girlfriend at the time, Israel Clary, to turn on R. Kelly, because R. Kelly had two girlfriends at the time, Israel and Jocelyn.
Oh, I remember that.
Now, the family of Israel tipped off the Fed, said, hey, yo, we have text messages, we have receipts that R. Kelly was f***ing her at 17 years old and actually gave her herpes at 17 years old. And he's been abusive to her. We have all the evidence and the proof. So the Feds understand their golden ticket to convicting R. Kelly was to get the girlfriend to turn on R. Kelly. However, when R. Kelly got locked up, he was still in connection with both girlfriends.
Because she never turned on him, right? She was like defending him the whole time.
Well, she did a Gil King interview saying, yo, R. Kelly is innocent. Mm-hmm. My parents is lying. He waited until I was 18. He like never abused me.
And didn't then the parents send the daughter to be with R. Kelly? Wasn't it like some musical thing where she thought,
yeah,
all right, for sure.
Yeah, right? So then, right. So then 7 months now have gone by, and R. Kelly and the two girlfriends now are starting to have issues and rifts, and they fall apart. Israel is under like the perception that I'm the main chick, I'm the only one now.
Yeah.
And R. Kelly is dogging like the other girlfriend to her because she don't like the other girlfriend. So now R. Kelly had an ironclad on Israel. She's the only recent girlfriend who was underage that they have absolute 4K proof that R. Kelly did some scandalous shit to her. But like she not turning. So once the two girlfriends now, they split up, the feds say, yo, we have jail records that R. Kelly is cheating on Israel. If we can find a way to get this record to the public, that girl is going to turn on R. Kelly, become a state witness, and we got him. It's over with. So what the feds did was the feds used the correctional officers to begin to steal R. Kelly's data and send it out to various blogs. Now, eventually, and it became an entire business because over 60 correctional officers accessed R. Kelly records and sold the information like to other people. Now, one officer sent R. Kelly's emails and call records and visit logs to Tasha K. And Tasha K read the emails word for word what R. Kelly and this other girlfriend was talking about. R. Kelly was calling that other girlfriend the same nicknames he was calling Israel, and Tasha K blasted it all.
Wait, but isn't that like illegal to do some shit like that?
Exactly, right? It's highly illegal. But at this point, it was an entire business from the very top of the directors was involved. Because 60 officers was accessing his information and selling it. One officer sold his like commissary information to the Washington Journal, right? So it was a big deal. So Tasha K blasted the entire receipts, his email, his calls, and said, yo, he's cheating on you, Israel. Israel got wind of this now while being embarrassed publicly that R. Kelly is now cheating on her. So now her parents now said, baby, like, come back home, leave his Trump apartment. And once the information got out, she then turned on R. Kelly, went back to Gil King and said, yo, R. Kelly coached me to lie during the first interview. She then took the stand against R. Kelly and said that R. Kelly gave her herpes, abused her, kidnapped her, stopped her from leaving. And the feds used that testimony from Israel to convict R. Kelly. Now, R. Kelly is saying, hold on. This is witness tampering. Y'all used information that was not supposed to be public 60 BOP officers accessed my secret information.
Wait, so they use that information to bust him?
No.
The change to get the people to change on him.
Yeah, right? They blasted it to Tasha K in the public to get the girlfriend to turn on R. Kelly, right? So, and even up until now, the feds refused to identify the officers who accessed R. Kelly information. However, based on like the portal, like they know that 60 officers, at least 60, access R. Kelly information. So now, Israel testified, and R. Kelly is saying, hold on, this is unethical. This is like witness tampering. This, like, I should not be locked up for this. This is wrong. So then R. Kelly files a lawsuit, and after about 3 years now, the feds was now forced to hand over 13,000 pages of records to R. Kelly. And a day after the feds handed over 13,000 pages of all the information, including the officers' names and, right? The assistant attorney general on the R. Kelly case, and he resigned a day after, which was like June 4th. He resigned a day after R. Kelly got the 13,000 pages. And then after that now, R. Kelly got wind, hold on, bro, they're trying to murder you. Because R. Kelly now has information that's going to put a lot of people behind bars. Because when you have an entire operation going on where people
is
accessing and selling your information, that's an entire business that's from the directors, correctional officers, and everybody, right? So now the lawyers are saying, oh, they know that people are going to go to jail over this. This is a lawsuit, yes, but
crazy.
So you basically, to make a long story short, you saying that the police is in cahoots with the in jail that try to get R. Kelly killed because they're trying to get that nigga out the way so he don't expose a bunch of people.
Oh, okay, I get you now.
Right. No, right.
Allegedly.
No, right. Now look,
That's a crazy conspiracy.
Right.
But it makes sense though.
I mean, most conspiracies make sense, but that doesn't mean they're true.
No, true. Listen, bro. To me, R. Kelly is a pedophile. I think he did it. So I could give a fuck if you being railroaded. But we can all agree that it's wrong, right? For them to try to get the girlfriend to turn on him by using his jail records that should never be released.
Not even that, just even releasing all his fucking information to the public is crazy. That's like,
come on.
That's some weird shit.